grade 11 and you're entering grade 12 soon, you're wondering what you should be doing to be prepared, then you're watching the right video. We're going to break down the 3 things you can do right now to set yourself up for success for university admissions and grade 12. The first thing you should do is make what's called a brag sheet. A brag sheet is a list of everything you've done outside of the classroom. Literally everything. It should be your volunteering, different projects you've worked on, any jobs you've had, any leadership, extracurriculars, maybe that little side hustle you started. Anything you've done outside of taking courses and being in academics should be on that list. And why that's important is because when deadlines hit in grade 12, the first thing students struggle with is having a blank sheet of paper in front of them and not knowing what to write. And when it's time for scholarships, university essays, and any references to ask about what you've done and why you stand out, trust me, every single person freezes up. So that brag sheet is going to help you out so much in the thick of things. You can always look back at it and know exactly what you should be writing for all your applications. This is going to make your life a lot easier. Get this one done first, because it makes everything else a lot simpler to do. And that's going to give you the foundation for most of the application work you're going to be doing in grade 12. Number 2 is your deadline plan. Look up the major deadlines for your universities and any scholarships you have in mind heading into grade 12 right now. Like seriously, it's going to really help you out. Knowing when you're going to be applying during the school year will be important because it could overlap with your midterms for any final exams you have. And trust me, grade 12 gets really packed really quickly. So find all your deadlines, add them to your calendar, and begin writing them down now. And if you don't have them available right now, then that's not an issue. You can go back to last year and see what the deadlines were. They do change a little bit sometimes, but it might only be by a few weeks, and it's going to give you a good benchmark for your planning. The key deadlines you want to be looking for is the regular admission for your schools. You want to check if your program has any early admissions because most students want to be applying to early admissions to hear back sooner. And then you also want to find out any major entrance awards at your universities. So you don't want to miss those 3 deadlines. They're very important. And now this is the key. This is really important for keeping up with your deadlines. And I'm not going to write it on the whiteboard because my writing is apparently hard to read. So we're going to have some text pop up here for you guys. When you finally get all your deadlines for your universities and for any scholarships you have in mind written down in a document, in a Google Sheet, Notion template, whatever you prefer, I want you to take each deadline and turn it into 2 deadlines. So what you do is you have one deadline, which is your final due date. That's the last date they're going to allow you to apply to the school or the scholarship. Then you're going to go a month back before that, and that's going to be your draft date. And that's going to be the second deadline you track for that school. Now, this is really, really important because every single time when there's a deadline, what students want to do is wait until the last minute to apply. If something's due on December the 1st, it happens so that they want to look at it on November 29th. So what you can do is make sure you have a deadline a month before that. So if it's December the 1st, you're going to want to set your draft date to be November the 1st. So we'll use UBC as an example. The early admission deadline is on December the 1st. So what you want to do is take your draft date and move it 30 days before that. So you're going to track December the 1st in your tracker. Then you're going to go ahead and track November the 1st in your tracker. Now, November the 1st is going to be your real date. That's when you want to have everything done by. You want to have your first essay drafted. You want to have logged onto the portal, and it should all be done. And December the 1st is your actual final deadline. That gives you 30 days to get drafts, make sure your references are in order, and in case there's any scares, like maybe you're missing something or you realize your essay is not as good as it needs to be, you have tons of time to work on it, and you do not want to be stressing out on the last day of a real final due date. So make sure you set up your deadlines this way, and it's going to free you up a lot of time in grade 12. So to recap, you're going to get all your university deadlines tracked, you're going to get all your scholarship deadlines tracked, ideally in a Google Sheet or a Notion template. Then you're going to write down all the deadlines, and 30 days before that, you're going to have your draft dates. And your real deadlines are your draft dates. That's when you want to have everything written by and prepared for. So that's how that works. It's going to give you tons of time to write, edit, and even if you're panicking, you can panic in peace because you have 30 days to figure that out. So you can even plan for your panicking in advance. And last but not least, write a practice essay. Now, we know that nobody really wants to write essays over the summer, and that's totally okay. We're not asking you to write a 1,000-word essay 15 times. Just a couple of practice prompts are going to give you a great foundation to prepare for grade 12. And when you're writing your first university essay, you might look at it and realize it's something you've written before. It's going to help you with your confidence, and it's going to speed things up. So here are 4 prompts you can use to write to practice for university admissions right now. Aim for 300 to 500 words and try to keep it short, not long. Tell us about a time you faced a challenge. How did you navigate it and what did you learn? What's an experience that shaped you into the person that you are today? What's something you're proud of and why does that matter to you? When did you step out of your comfort zone, and what happened as a result of doing this? You told me I'm not allowed to write those on the whiteboard because my writing is hard to read, so you're just gonna have to see the text on the screen whenever we edit this. If you do this, a couple things happen, and they're all fantastic. Either your essays are really good and you know exactly how to reflect on what you should be writing about. In that case, you're ready to go and you're gonna crush it. In another case, you're sitting there and you're staring at a blank piece and you're really struggling to write. That's also great because you want to do that now when you have time to think about it, and you can go back to your brag sheet and practice writing good essays. And lastly, sometimes students start reflecting and they can't find experiences to write about or things to think about. That means you have to go back to your brag sheet and either dig deeper, or you have to actually get involved right now over the summer or the early parts of grade 12 to get different experiences so you have something to write about. My personal advice for these is to block about 30 to 40 minutes for each essay and practice writing all of the prompts. That way it doesn't have to take over your whole summer, and you can set aside about 30 to 40 minutes for each of them, and in a whole weekend you can have all these filler pieces done. Plus, this becomes what we call a pillar piece, meaning it's a great foundation for your writing, and you can reuse and recycle the experiences you've written about for different university applications, for different scholarship applications, and that way you're not starting from scratch every single time that you're writing an essay. You've actually done some of the groundwork, and you know you can reuse and recycle it for some of these key pieces heading into the fall. And if you do these things, you're gonna really feel great in grade 12, and you're gonna be a lot more confident and probably have a lot less stress. So let's just recap. First, you're gonna make your brag sheet, then you're gonna make your list of deadlines, then you're gonna do some of the practice prompts that we shared in this video and write 300 to 400 words. Make sure you time box that to 20 to 30 minutes. If you do all these things, you're gonna feel pretty good heading into grade 12 and you're gonna crush it. Also, if you're wanting more structured support for somebody to guide you through the process with one-on-one coaching, essay editing, helping you plan initiatives to add onto your brag sheet, for example, we have structured programs at Admission Prep for families that are interested in that and want help with the admissions process. You can always check those out in the description and on our website at admissionprep.com. You can also head to our blog and see admission guides to many of the top schools in the country that you can be applying to. So that's admissionprep.com. It's in the description. You can check out the blog for those admissions guides, and there's lots of free resources to guide you throughout the process. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out with making this admissions content. And if you have any questions or some specific content you wish we were making, you can always drop a comment below and let us know, and we'll try to get back to you. Thanks so much, and we hope you crush it in grade 12.